what's going, y'all? It is yours truly once again. Well, you know about the company called Carfax? Well, just add carousel into that name, and then it pretty much really takes things to another level. Now, everybody knows about the carousel, that type of terminology which most hear from the red pill space, and you hear this terminology of her carousel. Now, with that said, when you look at a Carfax, you're just trying to see what its history is like in regards to its wear and tear. You know, every car that is used will have some wear and tear. You just want to see how much wear and tear it has, and that's what the Carfax is for. Now, shift it over to the feminine. Well, she'll also have her wear and tear. Yeah, she'll have her wear and tear as well. But in regards to the carousel, it's just simply her ride. How many times she's had a bumpy ride. So that's kind of what the carousel facts is all about. It's just seeing how bumpy her ride has been. And a lot of times you'll find this out not by necessarily doing research and background checks, even though, you know, some people would probably do a background check or some research on a particular feminine, especially if, you know, some guy thinks that, you know, she might have some type of felony on her record, just all that type of stuff. So I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do in regards to the feminine, but just know one thing is for certain: she definitely has wear and tear. So yeah, the carousel facts, if you will, you're just indicating how many bumpy rides she's had, because, you know, most of the feminine that come your way will have ridden on some type of carousel. So it's up to you to see what her bumpy ride has been like. And like I said, not that you'll necessarily look up what her rap sheet is like in regards to that, but you can tell what the ride has done to her just based on her disposition. So that's another way of just trying to know where her carousel facts, Carfax, really is. Just see her disposition, and that'll give you an idea of what her carousel facts is all about. Now, also keep this in mind: enterprise, Renathot. Okay? I've talked about this before, but just to kind of go into a little more detail right now, is when it's all said and done, you don't know where she came from, her carousel facts. But chances are, you know, you think of a carousel, it's a temporary ride, like a rent-a-car. In this case, Renathot. Because, you know, you got guys out there that say it, you know, they be saying things like, she's not yours, it's just your turn. Now, I get that in regards to the rental aspect that I'm saying right now, not really in regards to the carousel, because she's the one riding, right, on the carousel. Whereas with the rental, you're the one riding. So the terminology of she's not yours, it's just your turn, that applies to the enterprise Renathot. Now, see, she probably got to the point of, at one point in her life, she could have been definitely doing the carousel, jumping on different rides. But as she got older, she decided to be more picky about who needs to be around her. See, so meaning that this idea of the carousel to the enterprise Renathot actually represents a perfect timeline of the lesser feminine gender. When she's younger, she's riding a carousel, many different rides, but as she gets older, she becomes just a rental. You know, she can't go on those rides like she used to now. But now she knows that there are still certain guys that come around her, despite where she's been, and they'll just rent her out. It's unfortunate, but that's the way a lot of the feminine gender end up living their lives. And eventually, the wall becomes even more severe upon them hitting it. And of course, a lot of them are just bound for the scrapyard. You know, she's already been in the streets, but she's going to the scrapyard after so long. Now, this ties in with something else I want to bring up right quick. You know, with cars, you got this thing called resale value upon the car being sold off from its previous owner. In this case of her becoming the enterprise rent-a-thot, you got to think about this. Like I've talked about this before in a previous live stream, at the time, and, it was a collab, and, we brought up about the alignment value at the time. So that's really kind of what you're looking forward to. Like any car that's been used up, it's going to have a bad alignment. It's not going to be moving in a straight direction. It's going to be all over the place. She's going to be all over the place. But see, also think about this from the standpoint of like something you take to a pawn shop. The reason why the people at the pawn shop don't take in certain merchandises is because they're not only looking at the resale value, they're looking at the seasonal aspect of that merchandise. Like it's really just more or less about what they can get out of that situation if they have to walk away from it. And a lot of times it's based on a lot of seasonal situations. She gets around a guy anyway. She'll come into your life and then she'll leave and there's nothing you getting out of it. So, a lot of the alignment value ties in with this, but also what ties in with all this is just more or less the seasonal value of, if she's coming in and out of your life, she needs to be dropping something by and still having a copacetic relation with you. Like childhood female friends. Thanks a million.